asked me what I think about Gibson guitars a week ago, I would have told you that I'll never buy another one because I've tried so many and they're incredibly inconsistent while also being super expensive. But then this happened. And yes, I bought this one. I think I owe you an explanation. Let's go. What's up, everybody? A little housekeeping before we get going. If you like my style of playing, my style of soloing, check out my melodic soloing guitar course in the description down below because my style of playing is totally learnable. And right now it's 20% off. So if you want to grab it now and you can definitely learn my style of playing. So a little inside baseball here. I've been on the hunt for an ES335 for at least 2 years at this point. And between 2023 and 2025, I must have played more than 20 Gibson USA or Gibson Custom Shop ES335s. And spoiler alert, none of them were worth the money. Now let me know if you experienced similar things because I'm not sure if I just got unlucky, like an unlucky stretch of 20 guitars and none of them was actually good enough for the price that was asked, or if that's just the normal Gibson brand experience. Some were just plain dead in terms of sound, 2 of them had intonation problems all over the fretboard, and 2 of them had sloppy cut nuts. So after those 20 plus guitars that I played, I finally gave up my search. I was just thinking, maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe I'm over the Gibson phase because, you know, I enjoy my guitars very, very much. I have perfect instruments. The Nick Hubers that I have, you know, the Fender Telecaster that I always love and play. All these guitars are perfect. They're just, you know, flawless. I don't have any, you know, compromise whatsoever. And I just thought maybe this is just the end of my search here. If I want to have a semi-hollow down the road, I just have to get a Collings at some point or another Nick Huber. That is until a friend of mine actually let me know he wanted to sell this ES335. So I hadn't played this before, so I didn't know how it would actually play and sound. But what I knew was, ideally, I wanted a black 335 because my hero Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and Audioslave played one in black, and one of my favorite blues rock artists, Rainwolf from Canada, to this day plays one in black. So to me, a black 335 was just the perfect tribute to my all-time favorite guitar players or artists. So I said, sure, send it over. What can possibly go wrong? It might just be the 21st disappointment when it comes to Gibson ES335s, right? But boy, was I wrong about that. So there it was. I got it out of the case, put it on my lap, started playing, and I immediately felt this is a different ES335. It had a sound that I was looking for. It had the build quality that I was looking for. And I could immediately tell this would be hard to get away from. So how do you know when an ES335 is special? To me, that's pretty easy. It is when all 3 pickup positions do something super unique. So the bridge pickup needs to be bitey and bright, but not harsh, like this. Nice. But when you roll back the volume, it needs to retain all the clarity that a bridge pickup has. Now, the middle position is actually one of the most important sounds for me on a 335 because it can sound hollow, but also glassy and almost twangy like this. So nice. Just wow. And with the neck pickup, I just expect a round, hollow, woody kind of sound, you know? Incredible. So what do we learn from this story now? I think we learned that the Gibson critique is totally justified. The kind of flack that Gibson gets from being very inconsistent while being incredibly expensive is totally justified. All the ones that I played, I would have never taken home, especially not for the money that was asked for it. But we also need, while we need to be able to call a spade, which we just did, we also need to give credit where it's due, because this is the needle in the haystack kind of guitar. That's the kind of guitar that shows up every 5 years, if you're lucky, because that's just a gem. It's just one of those guitars that is super special. And it's all the more ironic that it actually found me once I stopped searching for one, you know? I stopped searching for ES335s, then my friend approached me and said he wants to sell one. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. Because now I'm sitting here, I'm having this special 335 that sounds better than any 335 I have played over the last couple of years. And boy, does it feel good to finally have this. Apart from this, it looks absolutely stunning to me. The block inlays, the dark fretboard, the black finish. To me, it's a very cool guitar, and I'm actually not scared to ding it because it's already a little bit dinged because it was used live on stage. Now, is it worth it to go through this year-long process to finally find the right guitar? I think that is a decision everybody has to make for themselves, but I think I wouldn't go through this process again, because planning multiple trips to multiple stores over a couple of years just to find a 335 that I finally like is super time consuming, and you could easily find a better guitar much faster if you go with a different brand, like say Collings or Nick Huber. If you're already spending that much money, you don't want to go through 30 different guitars to actually find one that you like. So to me, this is a happy accident because I was actually done searching for these, and then one just found me through, coincidence. And now I ended up with another Gibson, a guitar that I thought I would never ever buy again, but turns out I was wrong. That's it for today, guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something today. I hope you liked the sounds that you heard. If you did, check out my guitar courses because you can learn all that stuff yourself too. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.